What's going on, guys? So today we're going to do another light the scene breakdown. If you guys have been following this channel for some time, you guys know that I used to do these back in the day. So today I decided to bring it back. Today we're going to have a cop car and basically, kind of light it, everything around it. We have a subject which is going to be my boy Jose, and really, showcase the lights basically before with just the house lights on, and also showcasing you with the production lighting. Today we're using all Nanlite lighting, and really want to show you guys how useful and how much I recommend having lights over the best camera, the best equipment, because lighting does so much for your images. So anyways, let's get straight to it. All right, so you guys just saw the beginning of the video. Now I'm fucking up. All right, guys, so as you saw in the beginning of the video, today we're gonna break down the cop scene with the cop car and the lighting that we use with it. So let's start breaking down the lighting that we did in order to achieve that look. So the first light that we used, which is a key light, was the Nanlite Forza 300, and we also use a Nanlite softbox. And another thing that I would highly recommend for you guys to do, because we use it as well, is use the fabric grid. Without the fabric grid, you still get soft lighting, but it spreads everywhere. So having this grid allows you to control it and narrow down the lighting on the subject. So for today, we had Jose, and that's how we were able to basically separate every lighting. The red stays true to red, because if you don't use the fabric, it's basically gonna hit the background, and that red might turn very soft red, or it might turn pink, or it's basically gonna fuse red and white together. So grid allows you just to kind of control it. It's kind of like flags in a way, just a lot easier. And you really can't control it as much as you can with flags, but for the most part, the fabric does a really good job. So Forza 300 was the key light for today. So now the second light that we used to push Jose away from the background, to keep him in front of the cop car, to just basically, give it more separation, more depth. We use this cop light, and it turns on. Let me just see if I can turn it on. Yeah, it turns on, and basically hit it wherever he was standing, just to give him a glow around his head. And that to me looked pretty cool. Now again, there's different ways to do it. You could use a spotlight in the back, but sometimes you'd be surprised what you can have with the lighting around you. And for that one, we used this right here. Now, of course, I would prefer something else, something that you can control the dimness of it, but for the most part, I mean, it did the job. So that's the second light that we used, which is a backlight to push him away from the background. All right, so now for the third light, what we used was a PavoTube 30X, which is a new one. The purpose behind this 30X was really to hit the payphone booth. If you guys watching the video, it gives it a pop. Now, if I didn't turn it on, it'll probably most likely be dark. You might see it, but it's not gonna be, there's not gonna be a pop, or it's not gonna showcase it as much as I would like to. And I really wanted to enhance this. So that's why we went tungsten on the PavoTube 30X and just kind of beamed it. And because there's black walls right here, it was gonna be kind of dark. So I had to not use a grid for this one, the fabric grid that I do own for the 30X, and really just use it just like that and kind of let it just flood. So yeah, that was the third light that we used for this thing. Now for the fourth light, it's the same thing as the third light, which is the 30X, the Nanlite, the new ones, the 4-footers. And this is what we used to, give it a red color. Now, of course, this is completely up to you guys. You guys can go whatever color you guys want. I just wanted red. I wanted that certain look and that certain mood, but completely up to you guys. This is very, you guys can do it to whatever you guys want, but we just had it on the floor bouncing up because I wanted it to just kind of have the light going everywhere to try to hit this right here. This was my main goal when I wanted to, just to cause separation. For me, you're able to just, separate and just kind of just make it look better, or at least to my eyes, it looks pretty cool when you add something like this for this type of scene. But again, it comes down to the mood you're going for. So that was the fourth light that we used for this light the scene. So now the fifth light that we use, it's gonna be the same thing. We use the Nanlite, what is it, the 4-footer, the 30X, it's in here. And what we did with that light was really, I think we went daylight, we went 5600 inside, and that was to cause some light, because without it, it was gonna be dark inside. It's gonna be very flat, very boring. The image will probably still look better, but again, these little lights that you add to your visual, to your image, it enhances it so much more. So I will show you guys actually with it and without it on, so you guys can see how powerful these PavoTubes are. So in case you guys are looking for lights, one, I guess, recommendation I could say is definitely look into these Nanlite PavoTubes, because they allow you to just throw them in different places to enhance your image. Definitely get your key light, but after that, these PavoTubes are very versatile. And you could even use them for key lights, but in this situation, you guys are seeing how powerful these tube lights are, and that you're able to place them everywhere. You don't have to worry about cords being everywhere because they're portable or they're battery operated. So yeah, they keep the place clean and they help a lot with your image. So now for the sixth light that we use, which is the final light, is the Nanlite Mix Panel 60. We also use a softbox that they make for it, and it comes with a fabric grid when you buy the softbox. And this allowed us to control the light. This would allow us, with the fabric grid, as I mentioned at the beginning with the key light, it allows you to just control the light. So it's kind of like having black flags or black wrap or anything like that. It's not, it's not gonna do everything you want it to do, but for the most part, I mean, I use them 99% of my shoots. You could go extra with all these other things, but these get the job done for me. And this, what we did here was use it in color blue, and it allowed us to hit a little bit of the white, and obviously back here as well. I wanted to kind of keep it within like the cop look in some way. So that was just, again, it's preference. I could have done just daylight. I could have done tungsten. This is more just to show you guys the control and how each light does its own thing and why lighting is so crucial for your visuals. You guys are watching what you guys just saw. That's 6 lights, and it's not cheap. They cost a good amount, but that's to show you guys how important lights are. We didn't even mention cameras because lighting does what you want it to do to give you a great image. Camera, yes, for some degree, but everything in 2021, 2022, as far as cameras, produce great images. So lighting is really important. Make sure you guys look into that. All right, so take number 2, because homeboy made me laugh over there. So that's pretty much it for today's video. As you guys watched, lighting does a big difference for all your videos. Again, these are all optional. You can change the colors. You guys can do different things, but I really wanted to show you guys before and after with house lights, that nasty look, and then full production lighting, to show you guys how important lighting is and how each thing does its own, from fabric grids, from just straight letting them spill everywhere. Each light has a purpose. It's just up to you guys to make it happen, and whatever works for you guys. Just make sure there's control for everything. Even if there's no grid or no softbox, just make sure there's a purpose and control for it, so that way you guys can just enhance every light that's insane rather than having everything spill and be flat. So if you guys have any other questions, leave a comment below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.